Hey everyone, it's Houndx here, and in today's video, I'm going to do an updated review of the Samsung G5 Odyssey 1000R curved monitor. I've had this monitor for a little over a year right now, so today's video is all going to be an updated long-term review of this monitor. I actually made a review of this monitor a year ago, so you can check that video out. In that video, I covered the specifics of it, so the features, HDR, all that stuff. So I'm not really going to repeat that information in this video. I'm just going to cover a bunch of new stuff that I haven't really talked about in the previous video. Now, to give some context, I'll start by listing the specs of the Samsung G5 Odyssey monitor that I have right now. So it's a curved 1000R monitor with 27-inch screen. The screen comes with VA panels, and it's a 1440p resolution with a 144Hz refresh rate, 1 millisecond response time. It has a 200 nits brightness, along with support for AMD Freesync and support for HDR. Now, I got this monitor from last year's Black Friday sale for only $230, which is actually a pretty good deal, considering that this monitor is 1440p and comes with a 1 millisecond response time with VA panels. Now, on the spec sheet, it actually does say that it's 200 nits, but that is a typical brightness. You can actually bump that up to over 300 nits by using the controller at the bottom of the monitor, which allows you to set it to 100%. Also, for the controller, I think it was a great option to put it under the monitor in a convenient location. So far, I haven't had any problems or issues with it. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to ask about the LEDs on the screen, since this monitor is prone to having failed LEDs within a couple of months, according to some of the negative reviews from customers who've bought this monitor. So far, at the time of recording this video, there are no failed LEDs on the monitor. Nothing broke down or anything. The condition of it right now is exactly what it was when I first got it a year ago. Now I'm going to talk about some important things that you guys should know about this monitor. Now, one thing I don't really like is that it comes with a custom cable that you plug into your power source to power the monitor. It could be hard to hide, and if you're someone who values cable management, then this could be a pain. I wish the monitor could have came with the standard power cable that most other monitors come with. And I believe the higher end tier models of the Samsung Odyssey, such as the G5 or the G9, also come with this custom power cable, so just be aware of that. Now, one thing I do like about this monitor is that it comes with an included cutout for cable management. Of course, it's not the best one out of all the monitors out there, but it's definitely better than a monitor that doesn't come with one. Personally, I found this very convenient to organize the cables I have, so I don't get too much cable clutter. Now, one issue I would like to point out about this monitor is the display port. The back of the monitor has one HDMI port and one display port. However, the problem I have with the display port is that sometimes when I restarted my computer, the screen would only be operating at 120 Hz instead of the 144 Hz that I was supposed to run at. I went to NVIDIA control panel and I tried to change the settings, but the option to change to 144 Hz never showed up. I'm not sure if this is the problem with the display port or the problem with the monitor. So if you do connect your monitor with a display port and it works completely fine and always shows 144 Hz when you restart, then please let me know down in the comments. I would like to hear your thoughts. But so far I use an HDMI port for connecting the monitor to my PC, and that works just fine. So I'm just going to stick to that instead of using a display port. Now, I've gamed on this monitor for over a year right now, and at times I almost forgot that it was just a $230 1440p gaming monitor. The curved screen, along with the smooth 144Hz refresh rate with a low response time of 1 millisecond, really allowed me to immerse into the games I was playing, especially competitive shooting games. Although the color accuracy or the color gamut wasn't all that great, I wasn't really able to notice that difference when I was gaming. So the overall gaming experience on this monitor is very great, so you'll be just fine with this monitor even though the color accuracy is subpar. Now, going back what I said earlier about the color accuracy, when it comes to HDR, the G5 kind of falls behind in this area. It lacks support for Dolby Vision and a wide color gamut. And since the brightness is subpar, it's not really bright enough to bring out the colors of HDR anyway. Now, a quick tip for y'all is that when you first turn on the monitor and get set up, it's important that you check the settings to make sure that's running at the 144Hz refresh rate as it's advertised. So just go into settings, then go to display settings, and then check to see in that drop down menu that if 144 Hz is an option. Because sometimes for me, when I use the display port, it only showed 120 Hz. You can also do this in NVIDIA control panel if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, so that method also works. And in addition to that, make sure that the resolution is set to 1440p as well, because it was first set at 1080p for me, so just be prepared for that. On another note, this monitor does support FreeSync, but that you can only really take advantage of that if you have an AMD graphics card in your computer, and I have an NVIDIA graphics card, so I can't really use that. So that's just something to be aware about if you don't know much about FreeSync. Now, do I recommend this monitor for console gamers? Now, one of the problems with the latest gen consoles, such as the Sony PS5, is that it does not support 1440p native resolution, only 1080p or 4K. So if you were to plug this 1440p monitor into a PS5, it would just downgrade it automatically to 1080p. And that would just be a waste of money since you could have just got a 1080p monitor instead. Also, the PS5 only supports up to 120 FPS, so you will be sacrificing an extra 24 Hz since the monitor is 144 Hz, so that's just another issue to be aware of. However, the Xbox Series X does support 1440p, but again, it only supports up to 120 Hz, so you'll be losing an extra 24 Hz from the monitor. Overall, for its very low price of $230, I think this monitor is a very solid one. As long as you take good care of it, it's going to last for a good amount of time, because mine has not experienced any issues within the past year. It's definitely a great budget monitor for the latest Xbox Series X or consoles that support 1440p. And as for the PS5, I would just suggest getting a 1080p monitor instead, since that does not support 1440p. So overall, for gaming, this monitor definitely gets the job done and you'll be alright with it. As for content creation purposes, however, this monitor will not suffice for that. When it comes to video editing, don't expect much from the low brightness along with the relatively poor color accuracy. So if you're looking forward to content creation, I would suggest getting a more higher end 1440p monitor that has better color accuracy. So I hope this video was able to help you out in some way. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. It helps me a ton by doing that. But anyways, I'll see you all in my next video.